It's Dave McNeese, and I'm down at Spirit River, and I'm going to tie one of my favorite flies for winter steelhead and or fall fish, and that's the old Brad's Brat, Enos Bradner's fly. I made a couple of little changes since Spirit River's come out with some UV products, UV2s, and Light Bright. And I add those to the butt of the fly, the target area, and they've really improved the fishing. I don't get out as much as I used to, but I've got a lot of customers that fish, and they take a lot of steelhead, more now than they used to take, and part of that reason is because of this new material. It's very visible to fish. Lure makers have been using these brighter colors on their lures, and it's popping fish, and it just translates right over into the fly tying part. I always start my fly with a few turns of silver tinsel right on the tag. Put on a few strands of orange. Few strands of white. It can go either way, it doesn't really matter. And I wrap that up the body. I tie on 2 strands of tinsel. One is going to be an underbody, and then one will be my rib. The underbody's longer. And I only need a few inches for the ribbing. Now I take these different shades of Light Bright, and I start out with the green. I found that this system is the most productive. Start out with just a little green right in the back, and I wrap my tinsel, get that locked in, and I wrap my tinsel forward. This makes the material sparkle as the light goes in and out. It hits that silver tinsel and bounces right back out. It makes the material look just like a glow bug. Just a little bit, that's all you need. So I do a little green, a little pink, and a little bit of this UV2 CLX. So I've got 3 attractor colors here at the butt of the fly, the target, where I want that fish to strike. Keep them thin so that the light can go through, bounce out into the water, and it makes the body glow. Put a little orange CLX up there, kind of a reddish orange. Keep the body thin so the fly will sink. Here in the North Umpqua we can't use weight on our flies, so the bodies have got to be kind of thin. And then I just bring that tinsel right through the body. And after this material starts to shed, this tinsel, the silver tinsel, will lighten it up and brighten it. Now I take a few strands, not very many, but just a few strands, 4 or 5 strands of Crystal Splash. Run that down just about midway on the tail. And this will give the sparkle on the body and underneath the wing. Some people put it on top of the wing. I prefer to add the material underneath the wing. I take some brown colored schlappen, just a couple of turns, and I'll fold that back. My first part of my wing will be white, and it will be set back right over the body, not too awful long. Flatten it out with my thumbnail, just make a loose loop. Trim all that off, come forward, and tie that hair down. Why not put that bronze milk? Bronze milk. Oh, there it is. Now to give this fly some extra movement in the water, instead of using just straight brown hackle, I'll take the two, put them together, and I come out to about that point. I've stripped the bronze on one side, left the schlappen folded. One turn. Usually 3 turns, and I've got it. Kind of pull on that a little bit. Now you've got a fly that has hackles, that as it drifts in the water, these hackles will move around and all these little sparkly things. Your UV2 CLX, as well as the various colors of the light bright, will be the target area, and usually the fish will hit, see the fly, and it moves up on the fly from the back. So I usually don't use too much material that sparkles in the front. They see the tips of the crystal splash here in the back, as well as this material right here that has an extra glow. Then I just add a topping of orange hair. finished with my whip finish. Put a couple of coats of cement on it. And there's one of my typical steelhead flies. Long hackle, fluorescent butts, UV2s, and a little bit of crystal splash in the wing to give it a little sparkle. I don't want too much, but just enough in the back end. And that triggers a strike. Thank you.